Revolt. I have specifically said why I say revolt and to who and for what reasons in detail in my previous videos. This is Preacher Doc saying that I mention each video is for 21 years or older. The critical discussion, critical demand for justice, honors, and my money is per the videos I am now presenting, and from the bloody pulpit I throw back at them what they throw at me in the same language, and maybe putting a little more emphasis. And in quantity they throw at me, I throw quantity back at them. Now, meanwhile, always concentrate on the august body, the real good professional that take pride in who they are and what they have achieved. And then I mentioned certain achievers in the past as, of course, being worthy to be mentioned, included, and past and certainly present, of this august body. And I say, well, I have been challenged as to being a presidential candidate because of my speaking voice, my English. So I studied literature, found out that prose is a high form. The highest form of literature is poetry. So that was a challenge. And I have written, I think, the greatest poem I have ever read anytime, anywhere. And I have a body of work in poetry. And I thought I should mention is up and forward is that to mention in a good way this august body of achievers. And there's this poem I wrote and I have read, and I'll read again. Thoughts of travel. As I look far out over the sea, ships pass whose directions appear to be ports for Paris, Berlin, Athens, and Rome, vacation lands that are far, far from home. I pledge to travel by next year, I say, but when it is time, my bank account is at no way. I hear slogans and jingles of how to travel, but those later payments plus interest are tough to unravel. One of these years, before I am too old, I'll take my chances and be bold. Visit many countries, their mountains and streams that I have visualized in my dreams. A record I'll keep of what I have done. After all, you must save reminders. They're part of the fun. And when I return, not a sad note or tear, because I will start preparing to travel again next year. Now that is a real good poem. I'm thinking especially now, this is in a magazine that I called Challenge. And it's last century going into at least this century. And it is a real good magazine. And when John Kennedy Jr. was saying something about his magazine going to fold, I wrote to him and said, instead of folding your magazine, let's combine my magazine with yours, that my magazine is real good, and you have it already established and so forth. But he didn't answer, and I caught on why. He really now says, I think I've done enough from, like on his mother's side, of writing editor, and he wanted to get on his father's side and become president and correct the crimes and what had to be corrected that his father in office had been doing better than previous was done. Now, I then said, well, if I'm going to fold this magazine, I'll compose it with a poem. Now, I don't think I have read this poem, so I'm going to read it now. Castellano's Farewell to the Faithful. Copyrighted December 1997 by Doc Castellano, 1897, 70 Simi, Valley, California, 93063 USA, all rights reserved. Castellano's Farewell to the Faithful. The time to obtain justice is long overdue. For the horrendous crimes versus Mary, Charles, me, and you. The good are not forgotten, nor have we changed. To obtain justice versus Hoovers, whose minds are deranged. In the history of the world, man's inhuman thus man has been a practice that should be controlled by a ban. The faithful pray that their bodies and souls be saved. Arm boldly while secure, your road to salvation is paved. With the teachings of Christ, Muhammad, etc., showing the way, do enter others as you would want them to do for you today. Some defy God's laws Now, I didn't even read through this. I'm so sure and confident how good it is. So I'm going to start again by, with the teachings of Christ, Muhammad, etc., showing the way, do order others, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. I should use my reading glasses. See, I do a spontaneous, unrehearsed. I'm that sure and confident of the quality. So I have a body of work quantity, and this is the quality. With the teachings of Christ, Muhammad, etc., showing the way, do unto others as you would want them to do for you today. Some defy God's laws for greedy capitalistic gain. They are the worst hypocrites, sinful souls, so damned vain. One wonders, what is the devil in this vast universe? Isn't it the hypocrites with their fork-tongued verse? There must be heaven with eternal life for all, where all is well. Of course, where the faithful go, but the Hoovers, they can go to hell. Now, I don't ask, I have the right and the duty to demand my enormous wealth, all or certainly some of it, and that's where I'm at. and I'll split it 50-50 with any scoop, scandal, magazine, investigative reporter, whoever that breaks through anonymity, and I obtain all or some of this vast wealth, and we split it 50-50, and that's where I'm at. And if you can help me do that, I, of course, will split it 50-50 with you, and even say thank you.